Lights on a MoDOT camera. Interstate 44 in Franklin County shut down last August after police shot and killed a man walking along the highway. While that view shows very little, our investigation uncovers new angles never seen by the public.
The vantage points from police pointing their guns and a mother's view on why she says her son should still be alive today. Chief Investigator Lauren Traeger reports.
Under cloud-covered skies on I-44 in Sullivan, a police body camera captures a man pacing. It's a little before 8 o'clock on August 10th, 2024.
We just don't have the manpower right this second to deal with traffic on the interstate and him running one side to the other.
Almost 20 minutes earlier,
Hey, can I talk to you just real quick?
another officer had already tried talking to him.
I'll let you get going in just a second, okay? I just want to come check on you. Hey, you're not in trouble. Hey, get out of the road! All right, he is in some type of distress. He's not willing to come talk to me, telling me to F off.
The officers stay back, discuss what to do.
I don't know what he's doing. He's gonna get smoked. I don't want to just leave him.
Ultimately requesting troopers shut down all westbound lanes.
All right, we're gonna try to make contact with him. We got a traffic stop.
What happens next is captured on 3 cameras. We want to warn you, they're not easy to see, and we'll only show you to a point, as the various views detail the last moments of a man's life.
Will you please talk with me?
Get away from me!
He has a big knife, guys. He's armed.
One set of officers now down a surface road, the man still pacing. Sometimes you can hear what he's saying.
Do it!
Then the moment he goes towards 2 other officers, but this view blocked by the embankment.
Stop! Put the knife down, boss! Put it down! You got a knife. Go big.
A patrol car's camera shows those officers off to the side, the man still clearly in the highway.
We can talk to you. Just put it down.
The Sullivan officer giving multiple commands, and a Franklin County deputy too.
Don't do this! Stop!
The Sullivan officer backing up as the man approaches, and they both open fire.
Oh my
So shots fired. Getting you messing around.
Every day's kind of a nightmare. The grief is overwhelming.
That man, forever Elena Ryan's little boy.
He was just always the best child. He was such a good baby, a good child, a good teenager.
Garrett Ryan, born and raised in Sullivan, found football and faith, a soul sensitive to others' pain, his mother says, but drugs found and hounded him too.
He had his struggles. You know, it was hard. It was hard for him. He was harder on himself than anybody else could ever be on him.
But he'd been clean, she said, working hard. That day, he'd given her a hug before she'd headed to St. Louis.
I got to have a last hug, you know. I'm thankful for that.
Stop!
She won't watch this video. She says she just can't.
You don't ever want to see your kid like that.
But First Alert 4 investigates requested the camera views after witnesses told another media outlet there was no way Garrett had wielded a knife.
Throw it out!
A fact now indisputable by the evidence.
You got less lethal?
I got less lethal.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and go for the. I'm gonna go straight for the knife.
Immediately after firing the fatal shots, officers tased Garrett to get the knife away.
Get it.
Got it.
You can see in the video a curved knife.
Start CPR.
Then they begin CPR. Missouri Highway Patrol on scene almost immediately, taping it off, collecting evidence. Hundreds of pages of reports. Ultimately, the Franklin County prosecutor concluded he would not be pursuing criminal charges against anyone in the incident. The case now closed.
You good?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
The officers on scene sometimes visibly shaken.
Did nothing wrong, but that's just going to be the way it goes. I don't think you did anything wrong.
They don't disparage, but they say they had no other choice.
All you did is drop the knife. I don't think you wanted to.
You didn't want to. No, I think the whole time, that's why we didn't want to approach it before we could get stuff slowed up.
I know.
110.
There was just no reason for it.
But Elena says she doesn't understand why officers pulled their triggers.
It was definitely a preventable act. I don't feel they even tried to talk him down.
Yes, I believe that there was definitely time to make a different decision.
And her attorney, Tanner Rolfe, is now planning to sue both Sullivan Police and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, whose officers shot, saying they've consulted experts indicating there was time to reassess.
I don't believe that it ever should have got to the point where a that any use of force should have been needed in this case.
Rolfes says the officers should have called in mental health professionals when Garrett was clearly in distress.
And you don't think when he takes those steps or when he's saying do it or do it, anything like that, that he's trying to confront officers and possibly hurt them?
If at that time the officers perceived that that was a lethal threat to their lives, I believe that the taser should have been utilized.
And in that particular case, I didn't see where they had any other choice.
We showed the video to former St. Louis County Chief turned police consultant Tim Fitch.
Come on, no, come on, stop.
He says officers did try to de-escalate per training and best practices, but it all changed, he says, when Garrett took that stance, knife in hand.
They can kill you.
Absolutely. He was using lethal force, the knife, and the officers returned lethal force and stopped it, which is what they're supposed to do. Think about where those officers were. They were out there was nothing around them. There was no vehicles because they had moved away from their vehicle. There were no trees to hide, there was nothing to hide behind.
People may think, well, it's a knife and you have a gun. Why would you use your gun on someone who has a knife?
Those are probably people that's never seen anyone attacked with a knife. It's about as brutal as can be. I've always said I'd rather be shot than stabbed. It's that bad.
And less than lethal options, he says, aren't always enough.
Tasers are one of those things that they're nice when they work, but they don't always work. About 50% failure on tasers. Could be because it hits clothing that doesn't penetrate the clothing.
He feels, he says, both for Garrett's family and for the officers.
It is a life-changing experience for the officers as well.
Put it down! No!
So I think some people think that police take that lightly when they make a decision to use deadly force. You second-guess yourself every time when it's finished.
I guess I'm kind of confused as to why it escalated to that point. I can only imagine what his thoughts were.
Elena says Garrett had been making plans for a better life.
To me, that's not suicidal. That's looking for the future, not looking to end it, if that makes sense.
And had he ever talked about hurting someone or hurting a police officer?
Never. No, never. Never.
His ashes now in a locket around her neck, his soul, she says, in heaven.
That makes me happy that he's there where there's no ugliness anymore. So that gives me a little peace.
She says she simply wants more answers or perhaps better training for police in these positions. The video and a mother's view, very different, of the night on 44 when the sky faded to dark.
Now, sadly, there was also a separate traffic crash shortly after. While the interstate was shut down for this investigation, 2 women and a 5-year-old boy were killed in that. Now, we did obtain the toxicology report for Garrett Ryan. The medical examiner says he had marijuana, ecstasy, and meth in his system. The Franklin County Sheriff provided us a statement for this story, calling the officers' actions reasonable, writing, quote, "This is a tragic situation and it is never the outcome we desire when responding to calls for service. Despite attempts to de-escalate the situation, Mr. Ryan took that option out of the hands of law enforcement officers and deputies on scene and forced them into a lethal force situation. The law enforcement officers feared for their safety and the safety of the public in the immediate area." The Sullivan chief referred us to their attorney, who declined comment due to the potential for litigation in this. The Ryan's attorney says he does plan to file suit in the coming days, and it is a situation we will continue to track. I'm Lauren Traeger, First Alert 4 Investigates.